guys to this channel. This is Twist of Any Season, episodes 46 to 48. Thank you very much for coming back here and to give me some love, okay? Keep the love flowing. Alright, so Abhi went to Sushma's address, as it was the address the constable had given him to go and beg the owner of the bag that Tanu had stolen. When he got there, he was shocked to know it was on Sushma's place. He was very polite and apologized on behalf of Tanu. Now Pragya was busy listening to everything he was saying while he was apologizing and all, but he didn't know that Pragya was there, and Pragya actually didn't know that it was Abhi who was talking, but she heard everything, how he was thinking about everything they've been through. He was weeping profusely, talking about being married for 20 years, and he was actually saying all this to Pragya in mind. Okay. But Pragya listening thought, okay, this man is actually begging for his wife, being Tanu, but oh, she did still know it was him. Sushma still refused him to come in, and he turned to leave. Now back at Ranbir's place, Prachi was very worried about Shadat looking for a wife, so she was just saying, well, I just wish he gets someone good. Now Abhi turned to leave, so then he stood by the gate for a while and remembered he had Pragya's earrings. He said, well, let me go back. But then, while he was dropping it, the security guards told him to leave, and he said he was just admiring the beautiful car. He turned back and saw Aunt Sushma discussing with Pragya. Her face wasn't clear enough, just her shadow. He was thinking to himself, that shadow was it could actually be Pragya. So he decided to go back after the security guards left. He opened the door and they both stood in front of each other, shocked. They started talking and Pragya said, wow, Tanu is your soulmate, trying to tell him everything he had said. He tried to hug her, but Pragya was rude to him and pushed him away. He couldn't understand why, and Sushma came in and asked, what was that about? And he said, that person is Abhi, the same person I've been looking for every single place. Meanwhile, Ria was being chased by some boys for stealing, and Prachi saw her and came home and told Ranbir, and he warned her never to mention her name in the house as she is the cause of their problems. She got angry and went out, but he walked up to her and apologized. And Sushma encouraged Pragya, telling her things will be fine. Let's move on, guys, to episode 47. What she was seeing back in the cell, she could not believe it. Her eyes lit up so brightly as she looked at the image that was busy psychedelically walking towards her. Meanwhile, Pragya could not stop crying after seeing Abhi. The Sushma consoled her, telling her, well, it's now time to face your fears. It's Abhi you've been looking for, it's him you've been searching for. This is the time for you to stand and fight. Pragya was just worried. How could he of all people whom I so loved, have betrayed me this way? Some things are really deep, Pragya. Come on, girl. Wish I could talk to you right now. Now, Ranbir and Prachi were asleep. Prachi tried to speak to him about talking to his mom, but he was fast asleep, and she went on to call the mom. Ranbir's mom picked up the phone and tells her how much he hates her. Prachi, do not call this line again. I don't want you to come close to me. Okay? You have taken my son, you have ruined him, you made him disobey me, do not come close to me. Why are you calling me? And the girl was so broken. Back at the cell, guess who? Purab arrived at the police station with a lawyer and got Tanu bailed out. While at the police station, Abhi was just asking questions. Mad at Tanu. Abhi was just there trying to find out what really happened. Who really is the owner of the bag she stole? Well, you know her. She was just dancing around. And also, Purab comes down, picks them up, does everything with the lawyer. Monisha, Monigudu does everything with the lawyer and then picks her and goes back home. After everything, they tried to catch up on old times and said, come on, let's go to the house, let's see the remaining members of the family. So he drove them down, and he comes down from his very beautiful car, and everyone came down to meet him. Hugs and plays began, and everyone was happy to see him. He asked everyone else to come to see his house, but he didn't ask Alia. And she asked, what happened? How come you didn't ask me to come and see you? And he said, I hate you, Alia. Because of all the things she had made him go through with Bobo and Disha, he had always been in the way of his love life. Abhi could not take his mind off Pragya. Abhi questions everyone why they didn't tell him Pragya was there. Alia wanted to speak, but Abhi told her to shush and allow Grandma to speak. Grandma just blabbed and talked about his health while Mitali told him the truth. Let's move on, guys, to episode 48. On, Abhi sits outside thinking why Pragya would react way to him after how many years, 2 years, and then all of a sudden she's reacting this way. Pragya on her own was also thinking why he was acting so innocently and making her look and feel like she was the villain when he was the one who tried to kill her 2 years ago. He finally laid outside as usual. While there, a little girl threw a set of glasses at him, and he immediately started thinking about Pragya, remembering how he would call her Fatso with her glasses on. So he decided to put them on to sleep. But when he changed his position, the glasses almost injured his nose, and while thinking about her, he was just there, and he removed it and slept. But then he made up his mind he was going to meet her in the morning to find out what exactly the problem was, because it was actually out of hand. He didn't know what was going on in her mind and why she had to do all of that. Now, back at Pragya's place, she got a call from her secretary telling her everything about the auction of the Mera mansion was set. And Pragya was surprised. She was like, auction, Mera mansion. Well, okay, thank you very much. And then she went on to meet Sushma to find out if she was the one who actually put up that place for auction. And he said, yes, Pragya, you're getting distracted. You're no longer focused. So you need to put that place off auction to get it out of the way. Now, back at Tanu's place, the whole family was asleep. But immediately our auntie Tanu jumped up screaming. She had a nightmare of Pragya being with Abhi. And so she jumped up, rushed out, and found Abhi lying down there and smiling sheepishly. This Abhi is one hell of a character. He was holding on to Pragya's shawl and smiling, enjoying his sleep because he was actually dreaming about Pragya. Now, Pragya on her own slept very, very well, and Sushma walked into her room and covered her up. But then she noticed she was sound asleep. She walked out of the room wondering what could be happening. In like years, she had not seen her sleeping this good. But well, it's all good. Now, Pragya had Abhi's shawl that had flown from his hand in the previous episode. It landed on her car and she drove off with it. So that was how she managed to sleep and sleep comfortably. And Pallavi, Rambia's mom, was almost run down by the car, and Prachi was there to save her. Meanwhile, the newspaper had gotten the news of the auction of the Mera house, and Grandma brought that paper to Abhi, so he was ready to go and see that place for one last time. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and remember, it is the world extraordinary every day.